The Holy Bible, the first book of Moses, called Genesis, chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide water from water." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament, and the water was above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning was the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called the seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herbs and yielding seed of every kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed was in itself after its kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for light in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. The evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said, "Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly upon the earth, and the open firmament of heaven." And God created great whales, and every living creature that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly after its kind, and every winged fowl after its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and fill waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth." And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature after its kind, cattle and creeping things, and beasts of the earth after its kind." And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after its kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the earth after its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have the dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth." And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which it is fruit of a tree yielding the seed, to you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat." And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Genesis chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all of his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all of his work which God created and made. These are the generations of the heaven and of the earth, when they were created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heaven. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison, which it is compasses the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasses the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel, which it goes towards the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man and put into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in that day thou eatest thereof, you shall surely die. And the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all the cattle and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmeet for him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh inside thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto him. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be of one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. Genesis chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yes, hath God said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, You shall not eat of it, neither shall eat it or touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto the woman, You shall not surely die. For God does know that in the day that you eat thereof, your eyes will be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat it, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he ate it. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden with embarrassment. And the Lord God called unto them Adam, and said unto him, Where are you? And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree whereof I commanded you that you should not eat? And the man said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of this tree, and I did eat. And the Lord said unto the woman, What is this that you have done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and tricked me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed above cattle, above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly you shall go, and dust shall be all that you eat the days of your life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between your seed and her seed, and it shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In sorrow you shall bring forth children, and your desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, Because you have hearkened unto the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, You shall not eat it. Cursed is the ground for your sake, in sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. And in the sweat of your face shall you eat bread till you return unto the ground. For out of it was you taken, and for dust you are, and unto dust shall you return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also he said, and his wife did the Lord make coats and skins, and they clothed them. And the Lord God said, Behold, the man has become as one of us, to know between good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also the tree of life and eat, he will live forever. Therefore God sent them away out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword which turned in every way to keep the way of the tree of life. Genesis chapter 4. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel, and to his offering. But unto Cain, and to his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and angry, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if you do not well, sin will lay at your door, and unto you shall be his desire, and that you shall rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him, and killed him. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not, am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying unto me from the ground. And now are you cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. And you will till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee your strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that finds me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken unto him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he built a city, and called the name of the city after his own son's name, Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mehuliah. And Mahujael begat Methuselah, and Methuselah begat Lamech. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of one was Adah, and the name of the other Zillah. And Adah bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in the tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of music, such as the handle of the harp and the organ. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer of brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives Adah and Zillah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged 7-fold, truly Lamech 70 and 70-fold 77. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God said, She hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Genesis chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam in the day that God created man. In the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth began and lived at 105 years, and begat Enos. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90 years, and begat Cainan. And Enos lived after he begat Cainan 815 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Cainan lived 70 years, and begat Mahalalel. And Cainan lived after he begat Mahalalel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Cainan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years, and begat Jared. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 830 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begot Enosh. And Jared lived after he begot Enosh 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enosh lived 65 years, and begot Methuselah. And Enosh walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Enosh were 365 years. And Enosh walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begot Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begot Lamech 782 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years, and begot a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived after he begot Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old. Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Genesis chapter 6. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw that the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thought of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above. And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side of it. With lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all the flesh wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the air shall die. But with thee I will establish my covenant, and you shall come into the ark, you and thy sons, thy wife, and your sons' wives with thee. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall you bring unto the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be a male and a female. Of fowls after their kind, and cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after their kind, 2 of every sort shall come unto you, to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to you, and it shall be for food for you and for them. Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him, and so he did it. Genesis chapter 7. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come, you and all the house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast you shall take to thee by 7s, the male and his female, and beasts and that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by 7s, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth for yet 7 days. And I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, 17th day of the month. The same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, the 3 wives of his sons, with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth after their kind, and every fowl after their kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2, all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they went in, male and female, all flesh, as God commanded him, and the Lord shut them in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the water, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did it, the waters prevailed, and the mountains were covered. And all the flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beasts, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Genesis chapter 8. And God remembered Noah and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters dried up. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after the end of the 150 days the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountain of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from the earth. And he also sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him unto the ark, for the waters were of the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, and the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, the waters were dried up from the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, was the earth dried. And God spoke unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, you and your wife and your sons' wives with you. Bring forth with you every living thing that is with you, of all flesh, both of fowl and cattle, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife and his wife's sons and his sons' wives went with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, whatsoever creeps upon the earth after their own kind, went forth out of the ark. And Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered a burnt offering on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. While the earth remained, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, summer, winter, day and night shall not cease. It shall continue. Genesis chapter 9. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moves upon the earth, and upon all the fish of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. And every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require at the hand of every beast I will require it, and at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of God made the man. And you, be fruitful, and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. And God spoke unto Noah, and said to his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, This is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the sons of Noah that went forth in the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine, and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brothers without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went in backwards, and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he blessed and said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Genesis chapter 10. Now there are generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madal, and Javan, and Tubal, Meshach, and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Dogomar. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Doronim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided into their lands, every one after their tongue, after their family, and in their nations. And the sons of Ham was Cush, Mizraim, Phut, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabata, and Ramanah, Sabate. And the sons of Rama, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord, and wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Asher, and built Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth, and Calah. And Resen between Nineveh and Calah, the same is a great city. And Mizraim begat Ludin, and Anahem, Lahavan, Nephilim, and Pathrusim, Casluhim, and out of whom came Philistim and Caphtarim. And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgasite, the Hivite, the Archite, and the Sinite, the Averdite, the Zemarite, Hamathite, and afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. And the border of Canaanites was from Sidon, as it comes to Gerar unto Gaza. And thou goest into Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah, and Sabarim, even unto Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in the nations. Unto Shem, also the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth the elder, even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam, and Asher, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz, Hul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arphaxad begat Selah, and Selah begat Eber. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktham. And Joktham begat Almodad, and Sheleph, Hazarmaveth, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obal, Abilah, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktham. And their dwelling was from Mishah, as you go unto Sephar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, in their lands, and after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, in their nations. And by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. Genesis chapter 11. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelled there. And they said one to another, Go to, and let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, and let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach into heaven. And let us make us a name, that we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men built. And the Lord said, Behold, the people are one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, and let us go down, and there confound their languages, and that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad upon the face of the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did confound their language there of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood, and Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years and begot sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 530 years, and he begat Selah. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Selah 403 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Selah lived 30 years, and begat Eber. And Selah lived after he begat Eber 403 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 34 years and begat Lelah. And Eber lived after he begat Bela 430 years and begat sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years and begat Reu. And Peleg lived after he begat Reu 209 years and begat sons and daughters. And Reu lived 230 years and begat Serug. And Reu lived after he begat Serug 207 years and begat sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years and begat Nahor. And Serug lived after he begat Nahor 200 years and begat sons and daughters. Nahor lived 29 years and begat Terah. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Aram. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Aram begat Lot. And Aram died after his father Terah in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Aram, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. But Sarah was barren, and she had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Aram, and his son's sons, and Sarah his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Genesis chapter 12. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from the father's house, unto a land that I will shew unto thee. I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you, and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless you, and curse them that curse you, and in this shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed as the Lord spoke unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarah his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had together, and the souls that they were with them in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and unto the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Sichem, and into the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanite was then in the land. And the Lord appeared unto Abram, and said, Unto your seed will I give this land, and there you build an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched a tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hai on the east. And there he built an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous unto the land. And it came to pass, when he was coming near unto enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarah his wife, Behold, now I know that you are a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see you, that they shall say, This is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save you alive. Say, I pray you, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of you. And it came to pass that when Abram was coming into Egypt, the Egyptians did behold the woman, that she was very fair. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her, and commanded her before Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And he entered, and he entreated Abram well for her sake, and he had sheep, oxen, and as menservants, maidservants, and donkeys and camels. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with a great plague because of Sarah his wife. And Pharaoh called unto Abram and said, What is this that thou hast done unto me? Why did you not tell me she is your wife? Why saidst thou, She is my sister's soul, that I might take unto her to be my wife? Now therefore, behold, your wife, take her and go your way. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away, and his wife, and all that he had. Genesis chapter 13. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, silver, and gold. He went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Hel, unto the place of the altar which he had made there at the first, and there Abram called on the name of the Lord. And Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle, and the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled down in the land. And Abram said unto Lot, Let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and your herdmen, for we are brethren. Is not this whole land before you? Separate yourself, I pray thee, from me. If you will take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if you depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted up his eyes, and beheld all the plain of Jordan, and it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as you comest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plains of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent toward Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, Lift up now your eyes, and look from the place where you are, northward, and southward, eastward, and westward, for all the land which you see, to you I will give it, and to you seed ours forever. And I will make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, there shall thy seed also be numbered. Arise and walk through the land in the length of it and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto you. Then Abram removed his tent, and came and dwelled in the plain of Mamre, which is at Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord. Genesis chapter 14. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Elazar, Shadar-lamar, king of Elam, and Tadaliah, king of nations, that those made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shememba, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, which is Zoar. All these were joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the salt sea. 12 years they served Shadar-lamar, and to the 13th year they rebelled. And in the 14th year came Shadar-lamar, and the kings that were with him, and smote the Rephaims in Ashtaroth, Canarim, and the Zozims in Ham, and the Emims in Sheveh Kiriathaim, and the Horites in their Mount Zeir unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness. And they returned and came to En Mishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all of the country, the Amalekites, and also the Amorites that dwelt in Hazelon Tamar. And there went out the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zobium, the king of Bela, the same is Zoar. And they joined in battle with them to the vale of Siddim, with Chaldor-lamar, the king of Elam, and with Tidal, the king of nations, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king
of Elazar, 4 kings with 5, and the vale of Sidon was the full of slime pits. And the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, and they fell there, and they that remained, they fled to the mountain. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all of their victuals, and went their way. And they took Lot, Abraham's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and they departed. And there came out one that had escaped, and told Abraham the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, the brother of Eshcol, and the brother of Anar, and these were confederates with Abraham. And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants, by night, and they smote them, and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all of the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot and his goods, and the woman also, and the people. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shavah, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered your enemies into your hand. And he gave him tithes of all. And the king of Sodom and said unto Abraham, Give me the persons, and take the goods to yourself. And Abraham said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoelace, and that I will not take anything that is yours, lest you should say, I have made Abraham rich, save only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men which went with me, Anar, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them take their own portion. Genesis chapter 15. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abraham in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abraham, I am your shield and your exceeding great reward. And Abraham said, Lord God, what will you give me, seeing that I am childless, and the steward of my house is this Eliezer of Damascus? And Abraham said, Behold to me that you hast given me no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto Abraham, saying, This shall not be your heir, but he that shall come forth out of your own bowels shall be your heir. And he brought him forth abroad, and said, Look now toward the heaven, and tell the stars, if you be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall your seed be. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought you out of Ur of Chaldees, to give you this land to inherit it. And he said, Lord God, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, Take me a heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took unto him all of these, and he divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against another, but the birds divided he not. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abraham drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham. And lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abraham, Know of a surety that your seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years. And also that nation whom you shall serve
for they shall serve, will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with a great substance. And you shalt go to thy fathers in peace. You shall be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. And in the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, Unto your seed have I given you this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates, the Canaanites and the Kenizzites and the Cadmonites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaims, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites.
Genesis chapter 16. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto her, Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon you. I have given my maid into your bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judged between me and you. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, your maid is in your hand. Do to her as it pleaseth you. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by a fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence came you? And whither will you go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to your mistress, and submit yourself unto her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply your seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, you art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has heard your affliction. And he will be a wild man, with his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all of his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, You God, you see me, for you. She said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called Beer Lahai Roi. Behold, it is where Kadesh Am Berat. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram. Genesis chapter 17. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be perfect, and I will make my covenant between me and you, and will multiply you exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be a father of many nations. Neither shall your name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made you. And I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings shall come out of you. And I will establish my covenant between me and you, and your seed after you is generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto you and to your seed after you. And I will give unto you and to your seed after you the land wherein you are a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and your seed, and you and their generations. This is my covenant, which you shall keep between me and you and your seed after you. Every man-child among you shall be circumcised, and you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant between me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man-child in your generations, he that is born into your house, and bought with money of any stranger which is not of your seed. He that is born in your house, and he that is bought with your money, it must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man-child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from your people, and he shall be broken with my covenant. And God said unto Abraham, As for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. And I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yes, and I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. King of people shall be her. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed, and said in his heart, Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old, and shall Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear? And Abraham said unto God, Oh, that Ishmael might live before you. And God said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear you a son indeed, and you shall call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall be he begat, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto you at this set time in the next year. And he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abraham. Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the selfsame day, as God had said unto him. And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael's son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. In the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised and Ishmael his son. And all the men of his house born in the house and bought with money of the strangers were circumcised with him. Genesis chapter 18. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre. And he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself toward the ground, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in your sight, pass not away, I pray you, from your servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort you, your hearts. And after that ye shall pass on, for therefore are you come to your servant. And they said, So do as you have said. And Abraham hastened unto the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth,
And Abram ran unto the herd and fetched a calf, tender and good, and he gave it unto a young man to haste him to dress it. And he took butter and milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah, your wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto you according to the time of life. And to Sarah, lo, your wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being also old? And the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of a surety bear a child which I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At that time appointed I will return unto you according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, No, you did laugh. And the men rose up from thence and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham the thing which I do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. And the Lord said, Because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from thence and went toward Sodom. But Abraham stood yet before the Lord, and Abraham drew near and said, Will you also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Will you also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from you to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked. And the righteous should be as the wicked, but that be far from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? And the Lord said, If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sake. And Abraham answered and said, Behold, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am just dust and ashes. Peradventure there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Will you destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, If I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. And he spake unto him yet again, and said, Peradventure there shall be 40 found there. He said, Well, I will not do it for 40. And he said unto him, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure there shall be 30 found there. And he said, I will not do it, if I find 30. And he said, Behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure there shall be 20. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet again. This once, peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went his way, as soon as he had left communing with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place. Genesis chapter 19. And there came 2 angels in Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold, now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and you shall rise up early and go on your way. And they said, No, we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house. And he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, in both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came into you this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went out of the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not do so wickedly. Behold, now I have 2 daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them unto you, and do what you do to them as good in your eyes, and only unto these men do nothing. For therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. And they said, Stand back. And they said again, This one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs to be a judge. Now will we deal worse with you than with them? And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. And the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them, and shut to the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, Have you here any besides son-in-law, and your sons, and your daughter? And whatsoever you hast in the city, bring them out of it, out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out, and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy the city. But he seemed as one that mocked them unto his sons-in-law. And when the morning arose, and when the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise now, take thy wife, thy 2 daughters which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord, being merciful unto him, they brought him forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for your life. Look not behind you, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountains, lest you be consumed. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my lord. Behold, now your servant hath found grace in your sight, and you hast magnified your mercy, which you hast shown unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountains, lest some evil take me and die. Behold now, the city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one, and my soul shall live? And he said unto him, See, I have accepted you concerning these things also, and I will not overthrow this city for the which you have spoken. Haste you, escape there, for I cannot do anything till you come hither. Therefore the name of that city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. And then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. He overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of that city and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham got up early in the morning to place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and behold, lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the city of the plain, that God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, which he overthrew the cities in the which Lot dwelt. And Lot went up out of Zoar, and dwelt in a mountain, and his 2 daughters with him. And he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man and our earth to come in unto us after the manner of this earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and he will lie with him, and that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with the father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she rose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with the father. Let us make him drink more wine this night, and also go in and lie with him, and we may preserve the seed of the father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him. And he perceived not when they lay, nor when they rose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The name is the father of Moabites, and to this day. And the younger, she also bore a son, and called his name Ben-ammi, the son of the father of the children of Ammon, unto this day. Genesis chapter 20. And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country, and dwelled between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abimelech king of Ger sent and took Sarah. And God came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him, Behold, you are but a dead man for the woman which you have taken, for she is a man's wife. And Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Lord, will you slay also a righteous nation? Said he not unto me, She is my sister, and she herself said, He is my brother, and in the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands I have done this. And God said unto him in a dream, Yes, I know that you didst this in the integrity of your heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me, therefore suffered I you not to touch her. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for you, and you shall live. And if you restore her not, know that you shall surely die, you and all that are yours. Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning, and called all of his servants, and told all of these things in their ears, and the men were afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham, and said unto him, What have you done unto us, and what have I offended you, that you hast brought unto me and unto my kingdom a great sin? You hast done deeds unto me that ought not to have been done. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, What sawest you that you hast done this thing? And Abraham said, Because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. And yet indeed she is my sister, and she is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. And it came to pass, when God caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said unto her, This is thy kindness, which you shall shew unto me at every place whither we shall come. Say of me, He is my brother. And Abimelech took sheep and oxen and men servants and women servants, and gave them unto Abraham, and restored him Sarah his wife. And Abimelech said, Behold, my land is before you, dwell where it pleases you. And unto Sarah he said, Behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to you a covering of the eyes unto all that are with you, and with all other. Thus she was reproved. So Abraham prayed unto God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and his maidservants, and they bare children. For the Lord had fast closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Genesis chapter 21. And the Lord visited Sarah as he said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. And for Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him. And Abraham was
100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And Sarah said, God hath made me to laugh, and so that all that hear will laugh with me. And she said, Who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children? For I have borne him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, Cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And God said unto Abraham, Let it not be grievous in your sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, in all that Sarah hath said unto you. Hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall your seed be called. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is your seed. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and took bread and a bottle of water, and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder and the child, and sent her away. And she departed, and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs. And she went and sat her down over against him a good way off, as it was a bow shot, where she said, Let me not see the death of this child. And she sat over against him, and lifted up her voice, and wept. And God heard the voice of the lad, and the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, What aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God hath heard your voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him in your hand, for I will make him a great nation. And God opened up her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad a drink. And God was with the lad. And he grew and dwelt in the wilderness, and became an archer. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran. And his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt. And it came to pass at that time, that Abimelech and Phicol, the chief captain of his host, spake unto Abram, saying, God is with you in all that you have done, and all that you doest. Now therefore swear unto me here by God that you will not deal falsely with me, nor with my son, nor with my son's son, but according to kindness that I have done unto you, you shall do unto me, and to the land wherein you have sojourned. And Abraham said, I will swear. And Abraham reproved Abimelech because of a well of water, which Abimelech's servants had violently taken away. And Abimelech said, I wot not have done this thing, neither didst you tell me, neither yet heard I of it but today. Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them unto Abimelech, and both of them made a covenant. And Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock by himself. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, What mean these 7 ewe lambs which you have set by themselves? And he said, For these 7 ewe lambs shalt thou take of my hand, that they may be a witness unto me that I have digged this well. Wherefore he called that place Beersheba, because they were sworn, both of them. Thus they made covenant at Beersheba. Then Abimelech rose up, and Phicol, the chief captain of his host, and they returned into the land of Philistines. And Abraham planted a grove in Beersheba, and called there on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. And Abraham sojourned in the Philistines' land for many days. Genesis chapter 22. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thy only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and set thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him therefore a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up, and went into the place of which God had told him. Then on the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes, and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto him his young men, Abide ye here with the donkey, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again back to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering, and laid it upon Isaac his son, and he took the fire in his hand, and a knife, and they went both of them together. And Isaac spoke unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, and my son. And he said, Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. And they came to the place which God had told him of. And Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Lay not thy hand upon thy lad, neither do you anything unto him. For now I know you fear God, seeing you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram was caught in a thicket, a bush by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram, and offered him for a burnt offering instead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah-Jireh, as it is said to this day, In the mount of the Lord it shall be seen. And the angel of the Lord called unto Abraham out of heaven a second time, and said, By myself have I sworn, saith the Lord, for because you have done this thing, and have not withheld your son, your only son, that in blessing I will bless you, and multiply you. I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is upon the sea, and your seed shall possess the gate of the enemies. And in your seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned unto his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba. And Abraham dwelt at Beersheba. And it came to pass after these things, that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah, she hath also borne children unto your brother Nahor, Huz his firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Kemuel the father of Aram, and Chezid, and Hazah, and Pildash, and Joleth, and Bethuel. Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother. And his concubine, whose name was Remus, bare also Terah, Gaham, Pebesh, and Mechah. Genesis chapter 23. And Sarah was 127 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kirjath Arba, and the same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah, and he wept for her. And Abraham stood up from before his dead, and spoke unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And the children of Heth answered Abraham, saying unto him, Hear us, my lord. You are a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres, bury your dead. None of us shall withhold from you your sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. And he communed with them, saying, If it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and entreat for me to Ephraim, the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah
Macpelah which he hath, which is in the end of his field, for as much money as it is worth. He shall give it to me for a possession of a burying place amongst you. And Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth. And Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in at the gate of the city, saying, Nay, my Lord, hear me. The field give I thee, and the cave that is therein I give it thee. In the presence of the sons of my people give it I thee. Bury your dead. And Abraham bowed down himself before the people of the land, and he spoke unto Ephron in the audience of the people of this land, saying, If you will give it, I pray you, hear me. I will give you money for your field. Take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, My Lord, hearken unto me, hear my voice. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that betwixt me and you? Bury therefore your dead. And Abraham hearkened unto Ephron, and Abraham weighed to Ephron the silver which he had named in the audience of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money with the merchant. And the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field, and the cave which was therein, and all the trees that were in the field that were in all of the borders around about were made sure unto Abraham for a possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre. This same is the Hebron in the land of Canaan. And the field and the cave that is therein were made sure unto Abraham for a possession of a burying place for the sons of Heth. Chapter 24. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of the house that ruled over all that he had, Put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will swear that you swear by the Lord, the God of heaven, and the God of the earth, that you shall not take a wife unto my son from these daughters here of Canaanites, among whom I dwell. But you shall go unto my country, and go to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And the servant said unto him, Peradventure the woman will not be willing to follow me unto the land. Must I needs bring your son again unto a land from whence you came? And Abraham said unto him, Beware that you bring not my son thither again. The Lord God of heaven, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, and which spoke unto me, and that sware unto me, saying, Unto your seed I will give this land, he shall send his angel before you, and you shall take a wife for my son from thence. And if the woman will not be willing to follow you, then you shall be clear from your oath. Only bring not my son thither again. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and swore to him concerning this matter. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master, and departed, for all the goods of his master were in his hands. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, and to the city of Nahor. And he made his camels to kneel down without the city by a well of water at the time of evening, even the time that women will go out and draw water. And he said, O Lord God, O my master from Abraham, I pray you, send me good speed of this day, and show me kindness unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here by the well of the water, where the daughters of the men of the city they come out and draw their water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, Let down your pitcher, I pray you, and that I may drink, that she shall say, Drink, and I will give your camels water also. Let this be the one that you have appointed for your servant Isaac, and thereby shall I know that you have shown kindness unto my master. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man nor had known her. And she went down to the well and filled up her pitcher and came up. And the servant ran to meet her and said, Let me, I pray you, drink a little water of your pitcher. And she said, Drink, my lord. And she hasted and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him a drink. And when she had given him a drink, she said, I will draw water for your camels also until they are done drinking. And she hasted and emptied her pitcher into the trough and ran again into the well to draw water and drew for all of his camels. And the man, wondering at her, held his peace, to wit whether the Lord had made the journey prosperous or not. And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking, and the man took a golden earring of 1/2 shekel weight, and 2 bracelets for her hands of 10 shekels weight of gold, and said, Whose daughter are you? Tell me, I pray, is there room in your father's house for us to lodge? And she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, and which she bore unto Nahor. She said moreover unto him, We have both straw and provide enough room to lodge you. And the man bowed down his head and he worshipped the Lord. And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of my master Abraham, who has not left destitute my master of his mercy and his truth. I, being in the way, the Lord led me to this house of the master's brethren. And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out unto the man unto the well, and it came to pass, when he saw the earring and the bracelets upon his sister's hands, and when he heard these words, Rebekah his sister saying, Thus spoke the man unto me, that he came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camels and the well. And he said, Come in, you blessed of the Lord, wherefore standest you without? For I have prepared the house and room for your camels. And the man came into the house, and he ungirded his camels, and gave straw, and provided for the camels, and water to wash the man's feet, and the men's feet that were with him. And there was set meat before him to eat. But he said, I will not eat until I have told you of my errand. And he said, Speak on. And he said, I am Abraham's servant, and the Lord has blessed my master greatly. He is become great, and he hath given him flocks, herds, silver, and gold, with men servants and maidservants, with flocks, camels, and donkeys. And Sarah, my master's wife, bore him a son when she was old, and unto him hath he given all that he has. And my master made me swear, saying, You shall not take a wife to my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, on whose land I dwell, but you shall go unto my father's house and to the kindred, and take a wife for my son. And I said unto my master, Peradventure the woman will not follow me. And he said unto me, The Lord before whom I walk will send an angel with you, and prosper your way, and you shall take a wife for my son of the kindred of my father's house. Then shall you be clear from your oath when you comest to my kindred, and if they give not you one, then you shall be clear from the oath. And I came this day unto this well, and I said, O Lord God of my master Abraham, if now that you do prosper my way of which I go, behold, I stand by the well of water, and it shall come to pass that when the virgin comes forth to draw water, and I say to her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water, and pitcher to drink, and she say to me, Both drink you, and I will also draw for your camels. Let the same be the woman whom the Lord hath appointed for my master's son. And before I had done speaking in mine heart, behold, Rebekah came forth with her pitcher on her shoulder, and she went down into the well, drew water. And I said unto her, Let me drink, I pray you. And she made haste, and let down her pitcher from her shoulder, and said, Drink, and I will also give your camels drink. So I drank, and she made the camels drink water also. And I asked her, and said, Whose daughter are you? And she said, The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bare unto him. And I put the earring upon her face, and the bracelets upon her hand, and I bowed down my head and worshipped the Lord, and blessed the Lord God of my master Abraham, which had led me
and the right way to take my master's brother's daughter unto his son. And now, if you will deal kindly and truly with my master, tell me, and if not, tell me, that I may turn into the right hand or to the left. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, The thing proceedeth from the Lord. We cannot speak unto thee bad or good. Behold, Rebekah is before you. Take her and go, and let her be the master's son's wife, as the Lord had spoke. And it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard these words, he worshipped the Lord, bowing himself unto the earth. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment, and gave them to Rebekah. And he gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things. And they did eat and they drank, and he and the men that were with him, and tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning, and he said, Send me away unto my master. And her brother and her mother said, Let the damsel abide with us for a few days at the least 10, after that she may go. And he said unto them, Hinder me not, seeing the Lord hath prospered my ways. Send me away, and I will go to my master. And they said, We will call the damsel and inquire at her mouth. And they called Rebekah, and said unto her, Will you go with this man? And she said, I will go. And they sent away Rebekah with their sister and her nurse, Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah, and said unto her, You are our sister, be you the mother of thousands of millions, and let your seed possess the gate of those which hate them. And Rebekah arose, and her damsels, and they rode upon their camels, and followed the man. And the servant took Rebekah, and went his way. And Isaac came from the way of the well, Lehoireh, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide. And he lifted up his eyes, and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off of the camel, for she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. And Isaac brought her in to his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Genesis chapter 25. Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him Zimran, Jokshon, Medan, Midian, Eshtak, and Shua. And Jokshon begot Sheba and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Ashram, Letorasham, and Leamin. And the sons of Midian, Ephah and Epher, and Henoch and Hebedah, and Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts, and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived, eastward unto the east country. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived, 175 years. Then Abraham gave up the ghost, and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephraim, the son of Zohar, the Hittite, which is before Mamre, the field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth. There was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the well Lahairoi. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bore unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names according to the generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajoth, and Kedar, and Hedbeel, and Misham, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa, Hadar, and Tema, and Jetor, Nephish, and Kedema. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their towns and by their castles, 12 princes according to the nation. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years, and he gave up his ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people. And they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as you go towards Assyria. And he died in the presence of his brethren. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to be his wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padan-aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from your bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivering were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter and a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray you, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day your birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall it be of my birthright to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me then this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Genesis chapter 26. And there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell you of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you, and will bless you. For unto you and unto your seed I will give all of these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swore unto Abraham your father. And I will make your seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto your seed all of these countries, and in your seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Because of that, Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. And the men of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, She is my sister, for he feared to say, She is my wife, lest, said he, the men of the place shall kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out at the window and saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah his wife. And Abimelech called Isaac and said, Behold, of a surety she is your wife, and how said thou that she was your sister? And Isaac said unto him, Because I said, Lest I die for her. And Abimelech said, What is this that you have done unto us? One of my people might lightly have lain with your wife, and thou shouldest have brought guiltiness upon us. And Abimelech charged all of his people, saying, He that toucheth this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. Then Isaac sowed in that land, and received in the same year 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him. And the man waxed great, and went forward, and grew until he became very great. For he had possession of flocks, possession of herds, and a great store of servants, and the Philistines envied him.
For all the wells which his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with earth. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, Go from us, for you are much mightier than we are. And Isaac departed thence and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father. For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham, and he called their names after the names by which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants dug up in the valley and found that there a well of springing water. And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen, saying, The water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strove with him. And they dug another well and strove for that one also. And he called the name of it Sitnah. And he removed them from them thence and dug another well. And for that they strove not. And he called that name of it Rehoboth. And he said, For now the Lord hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in this land. And he went up from there to Beersheba. And the Lord appeared unto him the same night, and said, I am the God of Abraham your father. Fear not, for I am with you, and I will bless you and multiply your seed for my servant Abraham's sake. And he built an altar there, and called upon his name, the Lord, and pitched his tent there, and there's Isaac's servants dug a well. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, and Ahuzzath, one of his friends, and Phicol, the chief captain of his army. And Isaac said unto them, Wherefore come you to me, seeing that you hate me, and have sent me away from you? And they said, We saw certainly that the Lord was with you, and we said, Let there be now an oath between us, even between us and you, and let us make a covenant with you, that you will do us no hurt, as we have not touched you, and we have done unto you nothing but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now the blessed of the Lord. And he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. And they rose up in the morning, and swore one unto another, and Isaac sent them away, and they departed in peace. And it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him concerning the well which they had dug, and said unto him, We have found water. And he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba unto this day. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to his wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Beshmath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebekah. Genesis chapter 27. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray you, your weapons and your quiver and your bow, and go to the field, and take me some venison, and make me a savory meat that I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless you before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spoke to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison, and to bring it. And Rebekah spoke unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard your father speak unto Esau your brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless you before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command you. Go to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for your father, such as he loves. And you shall bring it to your father, and that he may eat, and that he may bless you before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be this curse, my son. Obey my voice, and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched, and brought them to his mother, and his mother made a savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly remnant of her eldest son, Esau, which were with her in the house, and he put them upon Jacob her son. And she put the skins of kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art you? And he said, Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau your firstborn. I have done according as thou biddest me. Arise, I pray you, sit and eat this venison, that thy soul may bless me. Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord your God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray you, that I may feel you, my son, whether you be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and he said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother's hands, so he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless you. And he brought it near him, and he ate it, and he brought him wine and drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of remnant, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give you of the dew of the earth, the dew of the heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be Lord over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone that curses you, and blessed be he that blesses you. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of the blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father rise and eat of this son's venison, that your soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am the son firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? I have eaten all of before you came, and have blessed him. Yes, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Your brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away your blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him your lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto you, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Have you not but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice, and he wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. And by your sword shall you live, and shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you shall have the dominion, that you shall break his yoke from off of your neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of his blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, then I will slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, your brother Esau has, as touching you, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise, and flee you to Laban, my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days, until my brother's fury is turned away, until thy brother's anger turns away from you, and he forget that which you have done to him. Then I will send and fetch you from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these, which are of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me? Genesis chapter 28. And Isaac called Jacob, and blessed him, and charged him, and said unto him, You shall not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. And God Almighty bless you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, that thou mayst be a multitude of people, and give you the blessing of Abraham to you, and to thy seed with thee,
that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art, and a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padan-aram, and unto Laban the son of Bethuel, the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau's mother. When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan-aram to take him away from thence, and that as he had blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, You shall not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother, and was gone to Padan-aram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had Nahalah, the daughter of Ishmael's Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to his wife. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place, and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place, and put them for pillows. And he lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached into heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending upon it. And behold, the Lord stood above it, and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land where thou liest, to thee will I give to you and to your seed. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west, to the east, to the north, and to the south. And in you and in your seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And behold, I am with you, and will keep you in all places whither you go, and will bring you again into this land, for I will not leave you until I have done that which I have spoken to you of. And Jacob awoke out of the sleep, and he said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid, and said, How dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. And Jacob rose up early in the morning, and took the stones that he had put for his pillows, and set up a pillar, and poured oil upon top of it. And he called the name of this place Bethel. But the name of that city was called Luz at the first. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, If God will be with me, and will keep me in this way, that I will go, and will give my bread to eat, and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house. And of all that you shall give me, I will surely give the tenth unto you.
Genesis chapter 29. Then Jacob went on his journey, and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were flocks of sheep lying for it, and by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered their sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in the place. And Jacob said unto them, My brothers, whence ye be? And they said, Of Haran we are. And he said unto them, Know you Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. And he said unto him, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep. And he said, Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water your sheep, and go and feed them. And they said, We cannot until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep. And while he yet spoke with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel the daughter of Laban his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban his mother's brother, that Jacob went near, rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice, and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all of these things. And Laban said to him, Surely you are my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, Blessed you are, my brother. Shouldst thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters.
The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. Jacob loved Rachel, and he said, I will serve you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to you than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had for her. And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife now, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this you have done to me? Did not I serve you for Rachel? Therefore then thou hast beguiled me. And Laban said, It must not be done in our country to give you the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give you this also, the service which thou shalt serve with me yet another 7 years. Jacob did so and fulfilled her week, and he gave Rachel his daughter to his wife, to be wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 more years. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened up her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, Surely the Lord has looked upon my affliction, and now therefore my husband will love me. She conceived yet again, and bore a son, and said, Because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, Now this time my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons, therefore his name is Levi. And she conceived again and bore a son, and she said, Now I will praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left bearing. Genesis chapter 30. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, and Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob, Give me children, or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, Am I God instead, who has withheld you from fruit of your womb? And she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have a child by her. She gave him Bilhah, and her handmaid, to be his wife. And Jacob went in unto her. And Bilhah conceived, and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called his name Dan. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, With great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah her maid, and gave her to Jacob to be wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, A troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. And Leah said, Happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, Give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. And she said unto her, Is it a small matter that you have taken my husband, and would you now take away my son's mandrakes also? And Rachel said, Therefore he shall lie with you tonight for thy son's mandrakes. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, You must come in unto me, for surely I have hired you with my son's mandrakes. And he lay with her that night. And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob a 5th son. And Leah said, God had forgiven me my hire, because I have given my maid to my husband. And she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again, and bore Jacob the 6th son. And Leah said, God has subdued and endowed me with a good dowry. Now my husband will dwell with me, because I bore him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah. And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her, and opened up her womb. And she conceived and bare a son, and said, God has taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph. and said, The Lord shall add to me another son. And it came to pass when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban, Send me away that I may go into my own country and my own place. Give me my wives, my children, from whom I have served you, and let me go, for you knowest my service which I have done for you. And Laban said unto him, I pray you, if I have found favor in your eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that the Lord has blessed me for your sake. And he said, Appoint me thy wages, and I will give it. And he said unto him, You knowest how I have served you, and how your cattle was with me. For it was little which you have before I came, and it is now increased into a multitude, and the Lord has blessed you since my coming. Now, when shall I provide for my own house also? And he said, What shall I give you? And Jacob said, You shall not give me anything if you will do this thing for me. I will again feed and keep your flock. I will pass through all your flock today, and removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and of such shall be my hire. So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come, when it shall come for my hire before your face. Everyone that is not speckled and spotted among the goats and brown among the sheep shall be counted stolen with me. And Laban said, Behold, I would it might be according to your word. And he removed that day the goats which were ring-straked and spotted, and all the she-goats that were speckled, spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and the brown among the sheep, and gave them into the hands of his sons. And he set 3 days' journey betwixt him and Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flock. And Jacob took him rods of green poplar, and of the hazel and chestnut tree, and pilled white strakes with them, and made the right appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had pilled before the flocks in the gutters of the water troughs, when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle speckled and spotted. And Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring-straked, and all the brown in the flock to Laban. And he put his own flock by themselves, and he put the not unto Laban's cattle. And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle conceived, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, and they might conceive among the rods. And when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the strong were Jacob's. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and made servants, men servants, camels, and donkeys.
Genesis chapter 31. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob has taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's has he gotten all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of your fathers, and to your kindred, and I will be with you. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the God of my father has been with me. And you know that with all my power I have served your father, and your father has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, but God suffered him not to hurt me. If he said thus, the speckled shall be your wage, then all the cattle were speckled, and if he said thus, the ring snake shall be your hire, and then bear all the cattle ring straight. Thus God has taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up my eyes and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled. And the angel of God spoke unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift up now your eyes and see, all the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled. For I have seen all that Laban has done unto you. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed the pillar, and where you vowed a vow unto me. Now arise and get you out of this land, and return unto the land of your kindred. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted of him strangers? For he has sold us and has quite devoured also our money. For all the riches which God has taken from our father, that is ours and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God has said unto you to do, do. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels, and he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting, which he had gotten in Padan-aram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. And he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face toward the mount of Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob fled. And he took his brother with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey, and they overtook him in the mount Gilead. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that you speak not to Jacob either good or bad. Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mount of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, What have you done that you have stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives taken with a sword? Wherefore did you flee away secretly and steal away from me, and did not tell me, that I might have sent you away with myrrh and with song, with tabret and harp, and have not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters? Thou hast now done foolishly in so doing. It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt, but the God of your father spoke unto me yesternight, saying, Take you heed that you speak not to Jacob either good or bad. And now, though you have what needs to be gone, because you sore long after your father's house, yet wherefore have you stolen my gods? And Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Peradventure, you would take it by force my daughters away from me. With whomsoever you findest thy gods, let him not live, because before our brethren discern you what is thine with me, and take it to you. For Jacob knew not that it was Rachel who had stolen them. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maidservants' tents, but he found them not. Then he went out of Leah's tent and entered into Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture, and sat upon them. And Laban searched all of the tents and found them not. And she said to her father, Let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise up before you, for the custom of women is upon me. And he searched, but found not the images. And Jacob was wroth with anger, and he chastised Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin, that you have so hotly pursued after me? Whereas you have searched all my stuff, what have you found of all of thy household stuff yet here before my brethren and your brethren? And they may judge between us both. This 20 years I have been with you. Your ewes, your she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of your flock I have not eaten. That which was torn of your beast I brought unto you, and I bear the loss of it of my own hand. Did you require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night? Thus I was in the day, the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from my eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in your house. I served you 14 years for 2 daughters, and 6 years for your cattle, and you have changed wages 10 times. Except that God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely you had sent me away now empty. God had seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked you yesternight. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that you seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children which you have borne, they have borne. Now therefore, come thou, let us make a covenant, I and you, and let it be for the witness between me and you. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, Gather stones, and they took stones and made a heap. And they did eat there upon this heap. And Laban called it Jegar-sahadutha, but Jacob called it Galeed. And Laban said, This heap is a witness between me and you this day. Therefore was the name of it called Galeed. And Mizpah, for he said, The Lord watch between me and you when we are absent from one another. And if you shall afflict my daughters, or you shall take otherwise beside my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness between me and you. And Laban said to Jacob, Behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast between me and you. This heap be a witness, and this pillar be a witness, that I will not pass over this heap to you, and that you shall not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. The God of Abraham, the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us. And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning Laban rose up, kissed his sons, his daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed, and returned unto his place. Genesis chapter 32. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, This is God's host. And he called the name of it that place Manaheim. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau, his brother, unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, Thus shall you speak unto my lord Esau. The servant Jacob saith thus, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now, and I have oxen and asses, flocks, men servants and women servants, and I have sent to tell my lord that I may find grace in his sight. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to your brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet you, and 400 men with him. Then Jacob was greatly afraid, distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks and the herds, and the camels into 2 bands, and said, If Esau come to the one company and smite it, then the other which is left shall escape. And Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord which said unto me, Return unto your country and to your kindred, and I will deal well with you. I am not worthy of the least of all of his mercies, and of all the truth which you have showed unto your servant. With my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become 2 bands. Deliver me, I pray you, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with my children. And thou saidst, I will surely do you good, and make you the seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for a multitude. And he lodged there that night, and took of that which came to his hand a present for Esau his brother, 200 she-goats, 20 he-goats, 200 ewes, and 20 rams, 30 milch camels with their colts, 40 kind, and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses, and 10 foals. And he delivered them into the hand of his servants, every drove by themselves, and said unto his servants, Pass over here before me, and put a space between me, the drove, and the drove. And he commanded the foremost, saying, When Esau my brother meeteth you, and asketh you, say, Where are you? Whose are you, and whither you go? And whose are these before you? Then you shall say, They be your servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my lord Esau, and behold, also he is behind us. And so commanded he that the second and the third, and all that followed the drove, saying, On this manner shall you speak unto Esau when you find him. And say you moreover, Behold, your servant Jacob is behind us, for he said, I will appease him with the present that goes before me, and afterward I will see his face, peradventure he will accept me. So went the present over before him, and in himself he lodged that night in the company. And he rose up that night, and took his 2 wives, and his 2 women servants, and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them, and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there he wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaks. And he said, I will not let you go, except that you bless me. And he said unto him, What is your name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Your name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and you have prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray, that thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that you dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of this place Peniel, and for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrink, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank. Genesis chapter 33. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children into Leah, and unto Rachel, and unto the 2 handmaids. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. And he passed over before them, and bowed himself to the ground 7 times, until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept. And he lifted up his eyes, and saw the women and the children, and said, Who are those with you? And he said, These children which God hath graciously given unto me, the servant. Then the handmaiden came near, they and their children, and bowed themselves. And Leah also with her children came near, and bowed themselves. And after came Joseph near, and Rachel, and they bowed themselves. And he said, What meanest thou by all this drove which I met? And he said, These are to find grace in the sight of your Lord. And Esau said, Oh, I have enough, my brother. Keep that you have unto yourself. And Jacob said, No, I pray you that now if I have found grace in your sight, that receive my presents at my hand. For therefore I have seen your face, as though I have seen the face of God, and you were pleased with me. Take, I pray you, my blessings that is brought to you, because God has dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and he took it. And he said, Let us take our journey, and let us go, and I will go before you. And he said unto him, My Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with young are with me. And if men should overdrive them one all day long, all that flock will die. Let my Lord, I pray you, pass over before your servant, and I will lead on softly, according as the cattle that go before me, and the children that are with me to endure, until I come unto my Lord into Seir. And Esau said, Yes, let me now leave with you some of this folk here that are with me. He said, What needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my Lord. And Esau returned that day on his way back to Seir. And Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and built him a house, and made booths for his cattle, and therefore the name of the place is called Succoth. And Jacob came to Shalem, a city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan. When he came from Paddan Aram, and pitched his tent before the city, and he bought a parcel of a field where he had spread his tent at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. And he erected there an altar, and called it Elohim Israel. Genesis chapter 34. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it. And the men were grieved, and they were wroth, because he had wrought their folly in Israel with lying with their Jacob's daughter, which thing that should not have been done. And Hamor communed with them, saying, The soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her to him to wife, and make marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade here and therein, and get you possessions there also. And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, Let me find grace in your eyes, and what shall say unto me that I will give? Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as you shall say unto me. But give me the damsel to wife. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, Because you have defiled Dinah their sister. And they said unto them, We cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. But in this will we consent unto you, if you will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters unto us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if you will not hearken unto us and be circumcised, then we will take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem and Hamor's son. And the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter. He was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem his son came unto the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, These men are peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein. For the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us, for to dwell with us to be one people. Every male among us be circumcised, as they are circumcised. Shall not their cattle and their substance, and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. And unto Hamor and unto Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of his city, and every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, took each man his sword, and came into the city boldly, and slew all the males. And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went out. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain, and spoiled the city, because they had defiled their sister. They took sheep, oxen, donkeys, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field, and all of their wealth, and all their little ones and their wives took the captive, and spoiled even all that was in the house. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, Ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of this land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And I, being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me, slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. And they said, Should he deal with our sister as with a harlot? Genesis chapter 35. And God said unto Jacob, Arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God,
that appeared unto you when you fled from your face of Esau your brother. Then Jacob said unto his household and to all that were with him, Put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments. Let us rise up and go to Bethel, and I will make there an altar to God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way of which I went. And they gave unto Jacob all these strange gods that were with them in their hands, and all their earrings that were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. And they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities that were round about them, and they did not pursue after the sons of Jacob. So Jacob came to Luz, which is in the land of Canaan, that is Bethel, he and all the people that were with him. And he built there an altar, and called the place El Bethel, because there God appeared unto him when he fled from the face of his brother. But Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried beneath Bethel under an oak, and the name of it was called Elon-Betheth. And God appeared unto Jacob again when he came out of Padan, and blessed him. And God said unto him, Your name is Jacob. Your name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be your name. And he called his name Israel. And God said unto him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of your loins. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to you I will give it, and to your seed after you will I give the land. And God went up from him in the place where he talked with him. And Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he talked with him, even a pillar of stone. And he poured a drink offering there on it, and he poured oil there. And Jacob called the name of the place where God spoke with him Bethel. And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was but a little way to come to Ephrath. And Rachel travailed, and she had a very hard labor. And it came to pass, when she was in hard labor, that the midwife said unto her, Fear not, you shall have this son also. And it came to pass, as her soul was departing, for she died, and she called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. And Rachel died, and was buried in the way to Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. And Jacob set a pillar upon her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave unto this day. And Israel journeyed, and spread his tent beyond the tower of Edar. And it came to pass, when Israel dwelt in the land, that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, Dan and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob, which were born to him in Padan Aram. And Jacob came unto Isaac his father, unto Mamre, unto the city of Arabah, which is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac sojourned. And the days of Isaac were 180 years. And Isaac gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people, being old and full of days. And his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Genesis chapter 36. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholabalama the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth. And Adah bare to Esau Eliphaz, and Bashemath bare Ruel, and Haliabama bare Juez, and Jelam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took his wives, and his sons, and his daughters, and all the person of his house, and his cattle, and all of his beasts, and all of his substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country
from the face of his brother Jacob. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together, and the land wherein they were strangers could not bear them because of the cattle. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of Edomites, in Mount Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau; Ruel, the son of Bashema, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was a concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. And these are the sons of Ruel, Neath, and Zerah, Shemnah, and Mizah. These were the sons of Bashemath, Esau's wife. And these were the sons of Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon, Esau's wife. And she bare to Esau Jeush, and Jalam, and Korah. These were dukes of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau: Duke Teman, Duke Omar, Duke Zupha, Duke Kenaz, Duke Korah, Duke Gatam, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Adah. And these are the sons of Ruel, Esau's son: Duke Naha, Duke Zerah, Duke Shema, Duke Misa. These are the dukes that came of Ruel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Bashmael, Esau's wife. And these are the sons of Aholibamah, Esau's wife: Duke Jehoaz, Duke Jalam, Duke Korah. These were the dukes that came of Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Esau, who is Edom, and these are the dukes. These are the sons of Seir the Horite, who inhabited the land: Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, and Anah, and Dishan, and Ezar, and Dishon. These are the dukes of the Horites, the children of Seir in the land of Edom. And the children of Lotan were Hori, Heman. Lotan's sister was Timnah. And the children of Shobal were these: Alvan, and Manahath, Ebal, Shipho, and Onan. And these are the children of Zibeon, both Ahah and Anah. This was that Anah that found the mules in the wilderness as he fed the donkeys of Zibeon, his father. And the children of Anah were these: Dishon, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah. And these are the children of Dishon: Hemdan, and Eshban, Ithran, and Sharan. The children of Ezer are these: Bilhan, and Zavavan, and Achan. The children of Dishon are these: Uz and Aram. These are the dukes that came of the Horites: Duke Lotan, Duke Shobal, Duke Zibeon, Duke Anah, Duke Dishon, Duke Ezer, Duke Jeshon. These are the dukes that came of Hori, among their duke of the land of Seir. And these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom, before there reigned any king over the children of Israel. And Bela, the son of Bear, he reigned in Edom, and the name of his city was Dinhaba. And Bela died, and Jobab, the son of Zerah of Bozrah, reigned in his stead. And Jobab died, and Husham of the land of Timnah reigned in his stead. And Husham died, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, who smote the Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his stead, and the name of his city was Avith. And Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah he reigned instead. And Samlah died, and Saul of Rehoboth by the river reigned in his stead. And Saul died, and Baal-Hanan the son of Ichabod reigned in his stead. And Baal-Hanan the son of Ichabod died, and Hadar reigned in his stead. The name of his city was Po, and his wife's name was Mehethabad, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mesarah. And these are the names of the dukes that came out of Esau, according to the families after their places by their names: Duke Timnah, Duke Alva, Duke Jetheth, Duke Aholibamah, Duke Elah, Duke Pineh, Duke Kenaz, Duke Timan, Duke Mibzar, Duke Magdiel, Duke Aram,
These be the dukes of Edom, according to their habitations. In the land of their possession, he is Esau, the father of the Edomites. Genesis chapter 37. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers, and the boy was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all of his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all of his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably about him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him yet even more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I had dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheaf. And his brothers said to him, Shall you indeed reign over us, or shall you indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream, and he told it to his brothers, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father and to his brother, and his father rebuked him, and said unto him, What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall I and your mother and your brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to you, to the earth? And his brothers envied him, but his father observed the saying. And his brothers went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said unto Joseph, Do not thy brothers feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send you unto them. And he said to him, Here I am. And he said to him, Go, and I pray you, see whether it be with your brother, and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What seekest you? And he said, I seek my brothers. Tell me, I pray, that you, where they feed their flocks. And the man said, They are departed hence, for I heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brothers, and found them in Dothan. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near to them, they conspired against to slay him. And they said one to another, Behold, this dreamer comes. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit. And we will say, Some evil beast devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, Let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, Shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the darkness in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brothers, and they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that was on him, and they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty, there was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels, bearing spices and balms, myrrh, going to carry it to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, What profit is it, if we can slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brothers were content. His brothers were content. Then there passed by Midianites, the merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes. And he returned unto his brethren, and said, The child is not, and I wither, where shall I go? They took Joseph's coat, they killed a kid of goats, a baby goat, and dipped the coat in the blood. And then they sent the coat of this many color, and they brought it to the father, and said, This we have found, and know now whether it be thy son's coat or no. And he knew it, and said, It is my son's coat, and evil beasts have devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent into pieces. And Jacob rent his clothes, put sackcloth on his loins, and mourned for his son for many days. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, For I will go down into the grave until my son mourns. Thus, Father, he was weeping and crying for him. And the Midianites sold him into Egypt, unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's, and the captain of the guards. Genesis chapter 38. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brothers and turned into a certain Adulamite, whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her. And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name And she conceived again and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Shezib when she bare him. And Judah took a wife for her his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto your brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to your brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it onto the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow at your father's house till Shelah, my son, be grown. For he said, Lest peradventure he die also, as his brother did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted, and went up into his sheep shearers to Timnah, he and his friend Hira the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, Behold, your father-in-law goeth up to Timnah to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come unto you, for he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? And he said, I will send you a kid from the flock. And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, What pledge shall I give you? And she said, The signet, your bracelets, your staff, that is in your hands. And he gave it to her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adulamite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, Where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, There was no harlot in this place. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. And Judah said, Let her take it to her, lest we be ashamed. Behold, I sent the kid, and you have not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has played the harlot, and also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, Bring her forth, and let her be burnt. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, By the man whose these are am I with child. And she said, Discern, I pray you, whose are these, the signet and bracelets and staff. And Judah acknowledged them and said, She has been more righteous than I, because I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more. And it came to pass in the time of her travail that, behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass, when she travailed, that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first. And it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, How hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon you. Therefore his name was called Pharez. And afterward came out his brother, and that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Sarah.
Genesis chapter 39. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down hither. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in the sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer with his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a good person and well favored. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, Lie with me. But he refused, and said unto his master's wife, Behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in this house, and he has committed all that he has into my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me, but you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And it came to pass, as she spoke to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her to lie by her or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house with him therein. And she caught him by his garment, saying, Lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand, and fled, and ran, and got out. And it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand, and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house, and spoke unto them, saying, He has brought in a Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came unto lie with me, and I cried out with a loud voice. And it came to pass, when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me, and fled, and got him out. And she laid up his garment by her until his Lord came home. And she spoke unto him according to these words, saying, The Hebrew servant which you have brought unto us came in and mocked me. And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me, and he fled and ran out. And it came to pass, when his master heard these words of his wife, which she spoke unto him, saying, After this manner did your servant to me, that his anger was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him into prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in prison. But the Lord was with Joseph, and showed him mercy, and gave him favor in the sight of the keepers of the prison. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all of the prisoners that were in the prison, and whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him, and that which he did, the Lord made it to prosper.
In Genesis 40 through 42, we see Joseph sitting in a dark prison, seemingly forgotten by the world. But just like these trees through a long winter, there is a season of growth happening that no one can see yet. If you feel forgotten today, this is the King James Version of Genesis, chapters 40 to 42.
Genesis chapter 40. And it came to pass, after these things, the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker had offended the Lord, the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was angry against two of his officers, against the chief of the butlers and against the chief of the baker. And he put them in ward in the house of the captain of the guard into prison, the place where Joseph was bound. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them, and they continued a season in the ward. And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream, the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison. And Joseph came in unto them in the morning, and looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his Lord's house, saying, Wherefore look they so sadly today? And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me them, I pray you. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph, and said to him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me, and in the vine were 3 branches, and it was as though it budded, and her blossoms shot forth, and the clusters thereof brought forth ripe grapes. And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes, and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said unto him, This is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up your head, and restore you unto your place, and you shall deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner, when you was his butler. But think on me when it shall be well with you, and show kindness, I pray you, unto me, and make mention of me unto the Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also have I done nothing that they should put me into this dungeon. And the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good. He said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head, and in the uppermost basket there was of all manner of baked meats for the Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. And Joseph answered and said, This is the interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up your head from off of you, and shall hang you on a tree. The birds shall eat your flesh from off of you. And it came to pass the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all of the servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants. And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again, and he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker as Joseph had interpreted to them. Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forgot about him. Genesis chapter 41. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine and fat flesh, that they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored, lean flesh, and stood by the other kine above the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean flesh ate up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. And so Pharaoh awoke. And he slept and dreamed the 2nd time, and behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank full of ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret that unto the Pharaoh. Then spake the chief butler unto the Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was angry with his servants, and put me in ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream one night, I and he, and we dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was with us a young man, a Hebrew, a servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted our dreams to each man according to his dream. He did interpret it. And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was. I was restored into my office, and the other was hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph. And they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself and changed his remnants, his clothes, and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of you that you can understand a dream and interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not me, but God shall give Pharaoh an interpretation and answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kind came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for the badness. And the lean and the ill-favored cows did eat up the first 7 fat cows. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. And then I awoke. And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 corn ears withered, thin and blasted, with the east wind sprung up after them, and the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare or interpret it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one. God has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows are 7 years, and the 7 good ears of corn are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored cows that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears, blasted with the east wind, shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showed unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of a great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after that 7 years of famine. And all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine that follows, for it shall be a very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because that this thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over that land. Take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years, and let them gather all this food for the good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store and storage to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, Can we find such a one as this, as a man to whom the Spirit of God is upon? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as God has showed you all of this, there is no one more discreet or wise as you are. You shall be over my house, and according unto my word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in a vesture of fine linens, and put gold chains about his neck. And he made him to ride in the 2nd chariot which he had. And they cried before him, Bow the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without you shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zephnephpaniah, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh And he went throughout all of the land of Egypt. And in the 7 plenteous years the earth brought forth handfuls of food, and he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt. And he laid up the food in storage in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city, he laid up in the same. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of the famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of his firstborn Manasseh, for God said, He hath made me forget all of my toil, all my father's house. And the name of the second son he called Ephraim, for God hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenteous that was in the land of Egypt were ended, and the 7 years of the famine began to come, according as Joseph said. And the famine was in all the lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried out to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go to Joseph, what he says to you, do. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened up all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians, and the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. All countries came into Egypt to Joseph to buy corn, because of the famine was so sore in all of the lands. Genesis chapter 42. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do you look one upon each other? And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down hither, and go buy some hence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's little brother, Jacob, sent not with his brothers, for he said, Let peradventure mischief befall upon him. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over all the land, and he it was that sold to the people of the land. And Joseph's brothers came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brothers, and he knew them, but made himself strange to them, and spoke roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Where come from you? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brothers, but they did not know him. And Joseph remembered the dreams of which he had dreamt to them, and said unto them, You are spies, to see the nakedness of the land you have come. And they said unto him, No, no, my lord, but to come buy food. We are servants to come. We are all one man's sons. We are true men. Your servants are not spies. And he said unto them, No, but to see the nakedness of the land that you have come. And they said, Your servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. And Joseph said unto them, That is it that I spoke unto you, saying, You are spies. Hereby you shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh you shall not go forth hence, except your younger brother, you must bring him hither. You must bring him here. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and you shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether they be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely you are spies. And he put them all together into a ward for 3 days. Joseph said unto them, The 3rd day this do, and live, for I fear God. If you be true men, let one of your brothers be bound in the house of your prison, and go you carry corn for the famine of your house. But bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and you shall not die. And they did so. And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, and that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress has come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, See, I spoke unto you, saying, Do not sin against this child, or you would not hear. Therefore, behold, also his blood is now required. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spoke unto them by an interpreter. And he turned himself about from them, and he wept. And then he returned back to them again, and he communed with them, and took from them Simon, and bound him in before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money back into their sack, to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. And they laden their donkeys with the corn, and they departed there. And as one of them opened up his sack to give the donkey some food at the inn, he saw the money, and behold, it was in the sacks. And he said unto his brothers, My money has been restored, and lo, it is even in the sacks, and there my heart is failed. They were afraid now, saying to another, What is this God has done upon us? And they came back unto Jacob their father, and unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that had befell upon them, saying, The man who is the Lord of the land, he spoke roughly to us. He took us and set spies of the country. And we said unto him, No, we are true men, we are not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with the father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, Hereby shall I know that you are true men. Leave one of your brothers here with me. Take this food for the famine for your household, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother back here to me, that I shall know and see that you are not spies, but that you are true men. And then I will deliver you your brother back, and you shall be able to traffic in the land. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was back into their sacks. And when both of their father and them saw that the bundles of money were there, they were afraid. And Jacob their father said unto them, You have bereaved me, my children. Joseph is not here, and Simon is not now. And you will take Benjamin now away? All of these things are against me. And Reuben spoke unto his father, saying, Slay my 2 sons if I do not bring him back to you. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to you again. And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left here alone. And if mischief befalls upon him by the way in the which you go, then shall you bring down my gray hairs into sorrow, into my grave. Genesis chapter 43. And the famine was sore and bad in the land. And it came to pass, when they had eaten up all of the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, and their father said unto them, Go again and buy us food. Judah spoke unto him, saying, The man solemnly protested unto us, saying, You shall not see my face, except that your little brother, be with you. If you will send our brother with us, we will go down and buy the food. But if you will not send him, we will not go. For the man said unto us, You shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. And Jacob Israel said, Wherefore deal you so ill with me, as to tell me the man whether you have yet even a brother? And they said, The man asked us straitly of our state and of our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Do you have a brother? And he asked questions, and we told him according to the tenor of the words. Could we certainly know that he would say, Bring your brother down? And Judah said unto Israel his father, Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and thou, and you, and also our little ones. I will be surety for him. Of my hand shall you require him. If I bring him not unto you, and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. For except we had lingered, surely now we had returned this second time. And the father Israel said unto them, If it must be so now, do this. Take of the best fruits in the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm and a honey, and some spices and myrrh, some nuts and almonds, and take double the money in your hand, and the money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks, carry it again in your hand, peradventure it was an oversight. Take also your brother, and arise, go again unto the man, and let God Almighty give you mercy before this man, that he may send away your other brother, and that Benjamin, and also, and if I be bereaved of my children, I will be sad. And the men took that present, and they took double the money in their hands, and they took Benjamin, and they rose up and went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the ruler of the house, bring these men home, and slay and make ready, for these men will dine with me today at noon. And the men did as Joseph said, and they brought the men into Joseph's house, and the men were afraid, because they were brought into Joseph's house, and they had said, because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time that we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us and fall upon us and take us for bondsmen and our donkeys. And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they communed with him at the door of the house, and said, O sir, we came indeed down the first time to buy food, and it came to pass when we came to the inn that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was there in their sacks. Our money was in full weight, and we have brought it back again. Here it is in our hand. And our money we have brought also down here into our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put this money back into our sacks. And he said, peace be with you, fear not. Your God and the God of your father hath given you these treasures that were in your sacks. I had your money. And he brought Simon out unto them. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their donkeys provisions. And they made ready the present against Joseph. Came at noon, for they heard that they should eat there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the presents which was in their hands into their house, and they bowed themselves to the earth before him. And he asked them of their welfare, and he said, is your father well? And the old man of whom you spoke, is he alive? And they answered, thy servant, yes, our father, he is in good health, he is alive. And they bowed down their heads, and they made obeisance to him. And he lifted up his eyes, and he saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, is this your younger brother, of whom you spoke unto me? And he said, God be gracious unto you, my son. And Joseph made haste, for his bowels did yearn upon his little brother, and he sought where to weep. And he entered into the chamber, and he wept there. He washed his face, and then he went back out and refrained himself, and said, set down and eat bread. And they set up for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians, which did eat with him by himself then, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with Hebrews, for that would be an abomination with the Egyptians. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled at one another. And he took and sent food around among them before, but Benjamin's was 5 times more as much of their other brothers, and then they drank, and they were merry with him. Genesis chapter 44. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can possibly carry. Put every man's money in his sack's mouth. Put my cup, the silver cup, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his corn money. And he did according to the word that Joseph spoke. And as soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their donkeys. And when they were gone out of the city, and not yet far off, Joseph said unto his steward, up and follow after the men, and when you have overtaken them, say unto them, wherefore have you rewarded evil with good? Is not this in which your Lord drinketh, and whereby indeed he divined that you have done evil in so doing? And he overtook them, and he spoke unto them as the same words. And they said unto him, Wherefore says my Lord these words? God forbid that your servant should do according to this thing. Behold, the money which we found in our sacks we brought again unto you out of the land of Canaan. How then should we steal out of the Lord's house silver or gold? With whomever of your servants it be found, both let him die, and we will also be by your Lord's bondmen. And he said, Now also let it be according unto your words. He with whom it is found shall be my servant, and you shall be blameless. Then they speedily took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened up every man's sack. And he searched and began with the eldest, and left at the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Then they were rent and feared and sad, and they rent their clothes and laden every man his donkey, and they returned to the city. And Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, for he was yet there, and they fell before him onto the ground. And Joseph said unto them, What deed have this that you have done, that you were not such a man as I can certainly be divine? And Judah said, What shall we say unto you, my lord? What shall we speak? How shall we clear ourselves? God has found out the iniquity of our servants. Behold, we are my Lord's servants, both we, and also with whom this cup is found. And he said, God forbid that I should do so, but the man in whose hand the cup is found, he shall be my servant. And as for you, get up in peace and go to your father. Then Judah came near unto him and said, O my Lord, let your servant, I pray you, speak a word in my Lord's ear. Let not your anger burn against your servant, for you are even as Pharaoh. My Lord asked his servant, saying, Here you have a father or a brother? And he said unto my Lord, We have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, a little one, and his brother is dead, and he alone is left to his mother, and his father loves him. And you said unto your servant, Bring him down unto you, and that I might set your eyes upon him. And we said unto my Lord, The lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave the father, his father would die. And you said unto your servant, Except your youngest brother come here, you shall not see your face any more. And it came to pass that we came unto your servant. My father told him the words of this my Lord. And our father said, Go again and buy us food. And we said, We cannot go down. If our youngest brother be with us, then we will go down. But for we may not see the man's face, except our youngest brother be with us. And the servant my father said unto us, You know that my wife bare me these two sons, and the one went out from me, and I said, Surely he is torn into pieces, and I saw him not since. And if you take this one also from me, mischief befall him. You shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow until my grave. Now therefore, when I came to your servant, my father, and this lad be not with us, seeing that his life is bound up into this lad's life, it shall come to pass, when he sees that this lad is not with us, that he will die. And your servant shall bring down the gray hairs of this our father with sorrow unto his grave. And the servant became surety for the lad unto my father, saying, If I bring him not unto you, then I shall bear blame to my father forever. And now therefore I pray you, let your servant abide instead of this lad, abomin to your Lord, and let this lad go back with his brothers. For how shall I go back to my father, and this lad not be with me? Peradventure that I see the evil that shall come unto my father. Genesis chapter 45. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all of them that stood there by him, and he cried, because every man to go out from him, and there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brothers, and he wept out loud. And the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brothers, I am Joseph. Doth my father live? And his brothers could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brothers, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold to Egypt. Now therefore, be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves that you sold me. For God did send me before you to preserve this life. For these 2 years have
the famine has been now in the land, and yet there are 5 more years in which there will be neither any more harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in this earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but it was God. And he has made me a father to Pharaoh, and to the Lord of this house, and a ruler throughout all this land of Egypt. Hurry you, and go to my father, and say unto him, Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me the Lord of Egypt. Come down unto me, and slow not. And you shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near unto me, you, your children, your children's children, your flocks, your herds, and all that you have. And there will I nourish you for you. Yet there are 5 more years of famine, lest you and your household and all that you have shall come to poverty. And behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaks unto you. And you shall tell my father all of the glory in Egypt, and all that you have seen, and you shall hurry, bring my father back here. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck, and he wept, and Benjamin wept with him. Moreover, he kissed all of his brothers and wept with them. And after that his brothers talked with him. And the fame of that was heard into Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brothers have come. And it pleased Pharaoh and his servants. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Say unto your brothers, This do you, lay your breast and go, and get unto you the land of Canaan. Take your father and your household, and come here unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and you shall eat the fat of the land. Now you are commanded, so do this. Take your wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones and for your wives, and bring your father, and come back. Also regard not your stuff, for the good of all of the land of Egypt is all yours. And the children of Israel did so, and Joseph gave them wagons according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and he gave them provisions for the way. To all of them he gave, each man, a change of clothes, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of clothes. And to his father he sent after this manner 10 donkeys laden with the good things of Egypt, 10 donkeys laden with corn, bread, and meat for the father, for the way. So he sent his brothers back away, and they departed. And he said unto them, See that you fall not out of the way. And they went up out of Egypt, and came back to the land of Canaan unto Jacob their father, and told him, saying, Joseph is alive, and he is the governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he did not believe them. And they told him all the words of Joseph which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him back, the spirit of Jacob of the father revived. And Israel, Jacob said, It is enough. Joseph my son is alive. I will go and see him before I die. Genesis chapter 46. And Israel took his journey with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices unto the God of his father Isaac. And God spoke unto Israel in the visions of the night, and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Yes, here I am. And he said, I am God, the God of your father. Fear not to go down into Egypt, for I will there make of you a great nation. I will go down with you into Egypt, and I will also surely bring you up again, and Joseph shall put his hand upon your eyes. And Jacob rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob their father, and their little ones, and the wives, in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle and their goods which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came into Egypt, Jacob and all of his seed with him, his sons with him, their daughters, his sons and daughters, and all of his seed brought he with him into Egypt. And these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt, Jacob and his sons, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn. And the sons of Reuben, Hanok and Phalu, Hezron and Carmi. The sons of Simeon, Jemuel and Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, and Shaul, the son of the Canaanite woman. And the sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. And the sons of Judah, Onan, Shelah, Pharez, Zara, and Onan died in the land of Canaan, and the sons of Pharez were Hezron and Himul. And the sons of Issachar, Tola, Phuvah, Job, and Shimeon. And the sons of Zebulun, Sarad, Elon, Jaleel. These be the sons of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob in Padan-aram, with his daughter Dinah. All the souls of his sons and the daughters were 33. And the sons of Gad, Ziphion, Haggai, Shuni, Ezbon, Ira, Arodai, and Areli. And the sons of Asher, Jimnah, Ishua, and Ishiu, Bariah, Sarah, their sister, and sons of Bariah, Heber, and Malchiel. These are the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these she bare unto Jacob, even 16 souls. The sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, Joseph and Benjamin. And unto Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On, bare unto him. And the sons of Benjamin were Bela, Bekar, Ashbel, Gera, and Naaman, Eha, Rosh, Mupin, and Ard. These are the sons of Rachel, which were born to Jacob. All the souls were 14. And the sons of Dan, Hushim, and the sons of Naphtali, Jalziel, Guni, Jezer, and Shillem. These are the sons of Bilhah, which Laban gave unto Rachel his daughter, and she bare these unto Jacob. All the souls were 7. All the souls that came with Jacob into Egypt, which came out of his loins, besides Jacob's sons' wives, all souls were 66. And the sons of Joseph, which were born to him in Egypt, were 2 souls. All the souls of the house of Jacob, which came into Egypt, were 70. And he sent Judah before him into Joseph, to direct his face unto Goshen. And they came into the land of Goshen. And Joseph made ready his chariot, and went up to meet Israel his father to Goshen, and presented himself unto him. And he fell unto his neck, and he wept on his neck a good while. And Israel said unto Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen your face, because you are yet alive. And Joseph said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh, and say unto him, My brethren and my father's house, which were in the land of Canaan, are come here unto me. And the men were shepherds, for their trade had been to feed cattle, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. And it shall come to pass, when Pharaoh shall call you, and shall say, What is your occupation? That you shall say, Your servants' trade have been about cattle, from our youth even unto now. Both we also our father, that we shall dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians. Genesis chapter 47. Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh, and said, My father and my brothers and their flocks and their herds, and all that they have, are come out of the land of Canaan, and behold, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took some of his brothers, even 5 men, and presented them to Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brothers, What is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, Your servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. They said moreover unto Pharaoh, For to sojourn in the land that we have come, your servants have no pasture for the flocks, for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now therefore we pray that you let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spoke unto Joseph, saying, Your father and your brethren have come unto you here. The land of Egypt is before you, In the best of the land make your father and your brethren to dwell. In the land of Goshen let them dwell. And if you knowest any men activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. And Joseph brought in Jacob his father, and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, How old are you? And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh, and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph placed his father and his brothers, and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, and the best of the land in the land of Ramesses. And Pharaoh had commanded. And Joseph nourished his father, his brothers, and all of his father's household with bread according to their families. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money to Pharaoh's house. And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in your presence, where the money has failed? And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give you for cattle your money, if money fail. And they brought their cattle to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for flocks and for cattle of the herds and for the donkeys. And he fed them with bread for their cattle for that year. And when the year ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, We will not hide it from you, my lord, but how that our money is spent. My lord also hath our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in sight of my lord, but what is left is our bodies and our land. Wherefore shall we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread. We and our land will be servants to Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the Lord be not desolate. The land will not be desolate. And Joseph bought all of the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the border of Egypt unto the other thereof. Only the land of the priests bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them from Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them, wherefore they sold not land. Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have bought you this day, and your land for Pharaoh. So lo, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the increase that you shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts to yourself, for seed of the field, and for your food, and for them of your household, and for your little children. And they said, You have saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of you, my lord, that we will be Pharaoh's servants. Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the 5th part, except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh's. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen. They had possession thereof, and grew and multiplied it exceedingly. Jacob lived in this land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die. And he called all his son Joseph, and said unto him, If now I have found grace in your sight, but I pray you, your kind hand under my thigh, deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray you, in Egypt, but I will lie with my fathers, and you shall carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burying place. And he said, I will do as you have said. And he said, Swear unto me. And he swore unto him, and Israel bowed himself upon the bed's head. Genesis chapter 48. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, Behold, your father is sick. And he took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And one told Jacob and said, Behold, the son Joseph comes unto you. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me, and said unto me, Behold, I will make you fruitful, and multiply you, and I will make of you a multitude of people. and will give this land to your seed after you for an everlasting possession. And now your 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto you in the land of Egypt before I came unto you into Egypt, are mine, as Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. And you issue which you have begetted after them shall be yours, and shall be called upon after the name of their brothers in their inheritance. And as for me, when I came from Padam, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, when yet there was but a little way to come unto Ephraim. And I buried her there in the way of Ephrath, the same is Bethlehem. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons, and said, Who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons whom God has given to me in this place. And he said, Bring them, I pray you, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see, and he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see your face, and lo, God has showed me also your seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left, and Manasseh in his left toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near to him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and said, and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my father Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from evil, bless these lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put the right hand upon his head. And the father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brothers shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. And he blessed them that day, saying, In thee shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. And Israel said unto Joseph, Behold, I die, but God shall be with you, and bring you again unto the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to you one portion above your brethren, which I took out of my hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow. Genesis chapter 49. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear, you sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, you shall not excel, because you went up to your father's bed, then defiled it. He went up to my couch. Simeon and Levi are brothers. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly. My honor, be not you united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their anger, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob, and scatter them in Israel. Judah, you are he whom your brothers shall praise. Your hand shall be in the neck of your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down before you. Judah is a lion's whelp. From your prey, my son, you have gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his donkey's colt unto the choice vine, he washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk.
Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his borders shall be unto Zidon. Issachar is a strong donkey couching down between two burdens, and he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backwards. I have waited for your salvation, O Lord. Gad, a troop, shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind loose, he give good word. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him, but his bow abounded in strength. His arms and his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. Even by the God of thy father you shall help you, and by the Almighty who shall bless you, and blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lies underneath, blessings of the breast and of the womb. The blessings of your father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors, unto the utmost bound of everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of his head, of him that was separate from his brothers. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spoke unto them, and blessed them, every one according to their own blessing he blessed them. And he charged them, said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephraim the Hittite, in the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephraim the Hittite, for a possession of a burying place. There they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife. And there I buried Leah. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is herein was from the children of Heth. And when Jacob had made an end of his commanding to his sons, he gathered up his feet into the bed, and he yielded up his ghost, and was gathered unto his people. Genesis chapter 50. And Joseph fell upon his father's face, and wept upon him, and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father, and the physicians to embalm Israel. And 40 days were fulfilled for him, for so are fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him 60 days. And when the days of his mourning passed, Joseph spoke unto the house of Pharaoh, saying, If now I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray to you, in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Lo, if I die here in my grave, which I have digged for me in the land of Canaan, there shalt you bury me. Now therefore let me go here and pray and bury my father, and I will come back again. And Pharaoh said, Go up and bury your father, according as he had made you swear. Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of the house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, and all the house of Joseph, and his brothers, and his father's house, only their little ones, and their flocks, and their herds, they left in the land in Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and it was a very great company. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan, and there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made mourning for his father for 7 days. When the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning to Egyptians, wherefore the name of it was called Abel-Mizraim, which is beyond Jordan. And his sons did unto him according as he had commanded them, for his sons carried him into the land of Canaan, buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abraham bought with the field of possession for a burying place at Ephraim the Hittite before Mamre.
And Joseph returned into Egypt, he and his brothers, and all that went up with him to bury his father after he had buried his father. And when Joseph's brothers saw father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us, and will certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him. And they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, Your father did command before he died, saying, So shall ye say unto Joseph, Forgive, I pray you now, the trespasses of your brothers and their sins, for they did you unto evil. And now we pray that you forgive the trespasses of these servants of the God of your father. And Joseph wept when they spoke to him. And his brother also went and fell down before his face, and they said, Behold, we be your servants. And Joseph said to them, Fear not, for I am in the place of God. No, but as for you thought evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring this to pass, as it is this day, to save many people alive. Now therefore fear not. I will nourish you and your little ones, and be comforted, and speak kindly unto you. And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he, his father's house, and Joseph lived 110 years. And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the third generation, the children also of Machir, and the son of Manasseh, were brought up unto Joseph's knees. And Joseph said unto his brothers, I die, and God will surely visit you, and bring you out of this land unto the land which he sware to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here. So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt.